change. What's the one thing constant in life? Change. You know, it used to be settled the old-fashioned way, but not now. It's pop, you know, it's crazy. Different world.
Continuing now with our special report on school safety. In the last hour, we've acknowledged that times have changed, but could that mean arming teachers to protect your children? Jay McCulley went digging for those answers and has more.
Debate over what constitutes the best-case scenario for student safety is not a new issue. Louisiana State Rep. Lauren Ventrella proposed a bill in early 2024 for trained teachers to be allowed to carry weapons on campus.
This is an option. We would only want responsible, well-trained individuals carrying these firearms, not just anybody. We see things on TV every day, and unfortunately, it seems like time and time again, there's an increase in these mass shootings.
The bill never gained traction during the 2024 session, which is now over. I asked a few Rapides Parish parents if they feel teachers should be armed.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
And so,
I know I am.
Whew, that's a good question. Yeah, I do.
That's not the answer. We got to do something better than arming everybody like the teachers. We don't want the teachers armed.
But how does the school board feel about this topic?
has the board discussed arming teachers or something?
No, that has not been a discussion.
Rapides Parish Sheriff Mark Wood says the only ones who should be carrying guns in schools are his deputies, not teachers.
I'm not too big on that. You know, as police officers, we train. We have to qualify. We have to train every year. You know, so that's kind of our job.
And that was our Jay McCulley reporting. Coming up at 6 o'clock, Jay will take a closer look at the student resource officers who are tasked with protecting your children.